Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? Just want to make sure that you can hear me okay. I got a new mic, so I want to make sure that it's smooth and loud enough for everybody to understand what I'm saying. If you can hear me in the chat, please press 1. So this is the new mic here, and it's supposed to be smoother than that Blue Yeti thing I have. Hi, Tina. Welcome in. Cal, Tinky. Hi, Baffled Snout. Sherry, good to see all of you. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you. I appreciate you for letting me know that you can hear me. It's always some kind of well, I have to test things out. I did a short video testing myself earlier, but I wanted to make sure it works today while I'm live with you. So there has been some stuff that's been going on with the Nancy Guthrie case, and I want to go over that information with you. Welcome in, everybody. Hi, Miss Joy. It's good to see you. Hope all is well with you. Hope everybody is having a great day. I know the weather's getting a little bit better now. It's 50 degrees here today. I can't believe it. But in 2 days, it's supposed to drop back down to 20. So that's going to be fun, right? So welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. Yes, it is a huge shit show. I agree with you, Stacy. It is. It's one big shit show. Excuse my language, but it's true. So this, in my opinion, this whole investigation has been botched from the very, very beginning. And we know that the sheriff, why? What is wrong with them, guys? I'm trying to be as nice as possible. You know, you would think that you would grab surveillance footage within about like 2 to 3 miles out, right? Starting from the core, which is Nancy's house, right? Thank you, Baffled. Hi, Mildred. Good to see you. So you have Nancy's house here, right? And you have a neighbor that is adjacent to her that looks like there was a camera on their actual gate. They have like this really pretty green, like maybe like more like an aqua colored gate, and there's a camera on it. So did this camera not catch anything, right? Maybe the perpetrator didn't go that way. How did they get Nancy out of the house? We were told that they didn't take her from the front door, yet there's blood there on the doorstep. So that's kind of contradicting, right? Thank you, Baffled, for becoming a new member here. I appreciate you. You are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. How did they not get any camera footage? And why is this camera footage so, well, now they're saying it's not anything to do with her case, the one that's 2 miles away, right? So what is going on there? I don't understand it. There's also been an arrest. So last night, this guy, let's put a picture of Nancy up on the stage. I know you guys probably don't want to really look at me. Yeah, she now 27 days, 27 stinking days. And I'm, I think we would have had answers if the FBI was allowed to do their thing in the beginning, you guys. Really? Oh, thank you, Baffled. So check this out. So I'm going to remove Nancy for a second, and I want to add this. So there was an arrest last night, you guys. I don't know if you've heard. Yeah. So Stacy, exactly. I can't believe these cars are not involved. You know, I said something last night, and looking at the time frame and how it didn't seem like no other cameras caught it other than what, 2 miles away, right? And I was thinking, I was like, well, around the time frame, bars usually close like around 2 o'clock. So it might be like people that bartend or do waitressing or something at night at bars, or it could just be people coming home from the bars at night, right? That's what I was thinking, but they were trying to identify a vehicle. And we did a really good job here last night, guys, looking at these vehicles in this video. And I know that Baffled and a couple other people had mentioned like a Kia. And the vehicle, they said, was like a Kia Soul, right? So thank you, Tinky, for your super sticker. Thank you so much for being here, hon. I'm glad you're able to catch a live today. Thank you. So check this out. This dude had a picture of Nancy on his phone, right? And from what I can understand is he didn't even he couldn't even speak English. They had to have like an interpreter for him or something. But I'm going to read, actually, is there a video? Let's play the video and then I'll read the document for you. 1 second. Make sure. Okay, so this is him. He was smoking weed, I guess, in the car. So, because I thought he was drinking, but no, he got a DUI for smoking weed. Yeah, so this is the scene last night, and he told them or showed them that he had a picture of Nancy. So, and why was he just driving back and forth, guys? Hi, Ann Elizabeth. Hi, guys. Welcome in. Why was he driving back and forth in front of the house? Like, I just don't understand it. So this is the scene last night. There he is getting the sobriety test. Here, I'm going to pause it real quick. That's him right there. He's pretty tall, right? This guy's pretty tall. He looks taller than the perp on the surveillance footage, in my opinion. And he looks slimmer. Like, he looks like he's like tall and lanky to me. But that's him. And I'm just going to play out the video here. 34-year-old man, right? Crazy. Yeah. So this is nuts. So we got arrested, misdemeanor DUI last night. Now I'm going to read this to you guys. So it says, Tucson, Arizona, a 34-year-old man was arrested late Thursday night outside the Arizona home where Nancy Guthrie went missing earlier this month, the Pima County Sheriff's Department told Fox News Digital. Shortly before 8 p.m. Thursday, deputies arrested 34-year-old Antonio D. Jesus Pina Campos. That's a long freaking name, guys. In front of the Guthrie's home on a misdemeanor DUI charges, the department said. The arrest is not related to the Guthrie investigation, the Pima County Sheriff's Department added. Oh, that's another. Look at that. And doesn't that look like okay. They say it's a Pima County Sheriff's deputy stopped a blue Chevrolet Equinox compact SUV near Guthrie's Tucson home late Thursday night. A man was later taken into custody after what appeared to be a field sobriety test. So that is his vehicle there. So it's a Chevrolet Equinox, right? And it says footage shows Pima County Sheriff's deputies shining a flashlight into the driver's side of what appeared to be a blue Chevrolet Equinox. Moments later, deputies spoke with Pina Campos near a white canopy tent set up along the roadside as the deputies shined a flashlight towards the man's face. And another sequence, I'm just going to say Pina. Pina walks in a straight line in what appears to be a part of a field sobriety test, right? And then it says the sheriff placed him in the back of the sheriff's pickup truck. The man was detained as investigators continue searching for Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today co-host Savannah Guthrie. And she did make another short statement today, and I will play that for you guys in just a moment as well. Who was reported missing on February 1st after authorities said she was taken during a home invasion. Investigators have said her pacemaker last synced with her iPhone around 2:30 a.m. that morning. Her family has since offered $1 million reward for information leading to her safe return. So here's the guy doing his field sobriety test. The development comes after Catalina Foothills resident street-facing ring camera captured 12 vehicles passing by by between midnight and 6 a.m. on February 1st, the morning Guthrie is believed to have been abducted. Some of the activity occurred around the 2:30 a.m. mark, roughly when authorities said 84-year-old's pacemaker last synced to her iPhone. Well, weren't we told that her iPhone was turned off, right? So her iPhone was turned off that night. So her pacemaker spiked, right, on her device at 2 a.m. At 2 a.m., her pacemaker spiked. And at 2:28 a.m., her pacemaker disconnects from her iPhone. So it was turned off, right? Yeah. Why would this guy keep driving back and forth, you guys? That's so weird. Yeah, I'm sure they're keeping an eye on him. It is so strange. So it goes on to say that homeowners, these are the homeowners that I think we were talking about, or maybe Justin, I don't know. I sent something. The home that was 2 miles away told Fox News Digital that the police had not canvassed their neighborhood in the 25 days since Guthrie was allegedly taken from her bed. And so, why would the sheriff's office not canvass further out? I don't understand that, you guys. Wouldn't that be one of the first things you would do? Is canvass further out? I don't get it. And I don't either. Why would he have a picture of Nancy on his phone? He's a 34-year-old guy. Like, what the freaking heck? So weird. It's like they're playing games or something, these people are. It says the couple said they alerted both the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department to the footage. It was not immediately clear whether the video would prove useful to investigators or whether any of the vehicles had traveled on Guthrie Street. Where's all the camera footage on Nancy Street? I don't get it. So it just goes on to talk about the home. The property's 2.5 miles, right? Or about 7-minute drive from the crime scene. I actually drew like a map last night, and I'll show you guys this. This would be like the easiest way to get there without like, let me show you. Can you guys see that? So basically, let me make this larger so you guys can see it. Oops, wrong way. So this right here would be Nancy's home, the blue dot that has the medical sign on it. And then this down here with the other blue dot would be the home that gave the footage to the FBI and the sheriff's department, which is like the 2 miles away, the 7-minute drive. So the route that I took, there's no cameras going through here, and there's little side streets. So there's a lot of streets that you can go to, and they're like dead ends. They're like, what do you call them? Not roundabouts, but like cul-de-sac roads, dead ends. In a lot of these neighborhoods, the only road, and I didn't see any light on here, would be North Campbell Road, but I didn't see any lights on these roads. And if you go that way, you actually pass by where they found the bloody gloves, which we haven't really heard any more about that. No outlet. There you go. I knew it was something like that. So we haven't heard anything else about anybody else in her neighborhood really catching anything on camera, right? Isn't that strange? Anyways, it goes on to say one of the videos, oops, let me put this back on so you guys can see it. There we go. It goes on to say one of the videos was recorded approximately 2:36 a.m., roughly 8 minutes after Guthrie's pacemaker last synced with her iPhone, based on the sheriff's timeline. And that was, so from what I could hear on other outlets, like one on JLRs and stuff like that, it says the guy was having trouble speaking English. So they had someone interpret what he was saying, and also had a photo of Nancy on his phone, which is just stinking strange. MK just said FBI discounted the car. Yep, they discounted the car. Why even bring that up? Why even bring it up? Like, I don't understand. Why bring that whole thing up if it has nothing to do with nothing, right? Now, I want to bring something else to you. Let me show you something real quick. So I found a really good picture today. It's okay. Someone was able to brighten up this photo of him. And I watched the video. I know we've all been watching this video over and over and over again. And the way this guy walks is like he's walking very carefully. Or maybe he has somebody said the white SUV at 2:30 a.m. Yes. Yes, Michelle. Mm-hmm. They said it has nothing to do with the way this guy walks, right? He walks like in a pattern kind of. And when he bends over to grab some of the, I don't know if they're weeds or a plant that she has there, it's like he has back problems maybe or something, but he sticks his right leg out straight to bend over. But it also could be because he has a lot of clothing on too. So it's making it harder for him to bend like a normal person would bend. What do you guys think? All right. I want to play something for you. It's so, hi, Cassie. It is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay. Give me 1 second. I want to show you something. So, you know, the area right here. I was looking up, this is actually Annie's business. I was looking up some information about it. It's where they do like art and stuff like that. And, you know, I got to thinking if the sheriff cleared the family, right? If he cleared the family, who would be next in line, right? To do something like this? I mean, I've always thought it was someone being paid. I honestly still feel like someone was paid to do this. And that's just my honest opinion. And I felt that way from the beginning. And I still feel the same way now. Right? Michelle, you agree with? Yeah, there's something going on when he bends over and he does favor one side. We're gonna play the video here in just a moment. But I want to show you guys this. So this is Annie's business, right? Why do I think this is important? It's a nonprofit and she hosts a lot of like art and she has like some, how do I say this? Like there's a lot of people that do like they perform there. There you go, perform. They have people that come up on singing on stage. They have people that do dancing and stuff like that, right? And it's like a form of art. But this is her nonprofit. So I wonder if it could have been somebody from that she knows here that she had ran into here, one of the family members, and just, you know what I mean, followed her home, or followed her mom's house or something. Have the police looked and talked to people where she does her art stuff at? What do you guys think? I don't know. Hi, Dogstar. Yes, the glove was was like if you're going on your way to where that 2 Mile Neighbor's camera is, the glove is on its way there. So this is Annie's nonprofit right here. So I did some research on it today. They have a YouTube channel as well. If you guys want to go check it out in your own time, go ahead. All right, I'm going to bring up this. We're going to just go over this, and then I have some other information I want to share with you. So give me 1 second. How is everybody doing? All right. So does this mic sound better than my other mic, you guys? Does it sound clearer to you? I feel like that too, Plant Lady. I really do. I just can't get it out of my head. I could be completely wrong, though. Like I always say, what, why, and who, why do it now, right? Why do it now? She's been living there for years. Yeah, you guys like the sound of this mic better? Only the prosecutor can truly clear the individuals. So the sheriff can say whatever he thinks. Does that hold water to most of us and just his opinion, apparently? Yep. I agree. Thanks, guys. Thank you. It was really easy to set up. I feel like it's not as high pitched as the other mic I have. This one was actually not as expensive as the other mic either, which is cool. Okay, let's play this. I'm gonna kind of do it in slow motion, right? Give me 1 second. This was 39 seconds. I'm gonna do it in slow motion. And I want to show you guys something. Let's see here. Okay. Watch his steps. See how he steps, and then he brings his other foot to the side to side, like he's dancing, right? Watch. Like the steps, I don't know. It looks like he's dancing, or he dances maybe, or maybe in the military before, or see? Like, do you guys do that? Do you take your feet and move them side to side like that? I don't. I don't do that. Watch. It's like a little soldier, the way he moves his feet, or like here. See? Makes them even right there. Just watch. Side to side. And then hold on 1 second. I want to get him where he's walking out. Okay. Watch. And I swear he bends over like this so they can't get his height, but maybe I'm wrong. It does look like he's looking for something over here, though. And then he goes right over to the right. Goes down that step. And then turns. Like he knew exactly where the plant is, it seems like. See how he bends over right there? Has the leg straight. He's not really bending this leg too much. He's keeping the right one straight. As I wonder if he's got a bad back or if it's just because he's got a lot of clothing on. He's very particular with his feet. Watch. Look right there. Doesn't it look like he's about to fall over, kind of? Like because he's trying to be careful with his feet, or am I like seeing something? Patel has some gait. Mm-hmm. It could be someone who works at the restaurant where they were filming. Yeah, and why haven't they went to the restaurant? Right? The El Charro. Why haven't they went there and spoken to, the waitresses or anybody that works there to see if Nancy recently came in there? Now, we do know that there's a video of Savannah and Annie and her mom that had went there like a few months ago, right? They all three went there a few months ago. So why hasn't the sheriff went and spoken to them? Wouldn't you go try to follow the steps that Nancy took in the days prior? And I just don't understand that. Bad knee, you think? Yeah, there's rumors that I don't know. I don't even want to say the rumors right now. What restaurant? It's called El Charro. El Charro. It's the oldest Mexican restaurant. But why? Why is the sheriff doing this on purpose? Is he being manipulated? He moves like a Sasquatch. Seriously, though, is the sheriff being manipulated to act like this? How? I just don't understand it. you would go there if you really thought this was real. More and more, I think I don't know. It's crazy. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. All right, let's finish that. And I have something else I want to talk to you about. Okay, this is just this part, right? No more walking. Okay. And then the flowers, right? That's just a weird thing to do. I think he was trying to set off motion instead of somebody's actually like a person detected. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up really quick. Let's see if anything is going on here, and then I have something to talk about.
Okay. Why
does it sound like that? Oops. Oh, did you know 2 women came up to him earlier and said they knew exactly who did it? Do you guys know that? And JLR told them to go sheriff.
That's for you. Sir, what's your Joe? Look at Tay bringing meals.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna put a pin.
YouTubers looking out for YouTubers. Because I don't like feeding people.
Oh, she's giving them food. Okay.
So I wanted to make sure that you all got a hot meal.
That's so sweet. So there were 2 women that came up to him earlier and said they knew exactly who did it. And he told them to go to the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
I want to read something to you guys.
Unless I'm walking like this with my gun. The flashlight and gun, I might look like a crazy person. But
they have now actually put surveillance on Nancy's home, and they've done surveillance on Annie's home, it looks like. So Nancy isn't the only Guthrie home to see increased security measures. Annie's added new cameras, and someone also placed some flowers next to her. And I'm going to show you some photos real quick. Put that there. So Annie is adding cameras as well. Why do you think they're all adding cameras? Because everybody out there. There's her house. Oh, come on. Cameras. I don't know what that is, but someone put some flowers next to her mailbox. So probably a friend or something. But yeah, so they're all adding. I would move. Yeah. Yeah, I would too. But it's not that easy to just get up and move. So Nancy Guthrie's, I want to read this to you guys. Nancy Guthrie's Google Nest doorbell was offline. Did you know that? The FBI was still able to get the video. I'm going to read this really slowly for you guys. Nancy Guthrie's Google Nest doorbell had been taken or disconnected and off the home's Wi-Fi. There was no active cloud connection, no live feed, no upload in progress. Yet the investigators were still able to get the video from that. So think about that. Like if the doorbell was offline and the cloud wasn't being used, where was the video actually stored, right? But they were able to still get that. Isn't that crazy? And Pima County Sheriff's Office said, update today. Investigation continue until Nancy Guthrie is located or all leads have been exhausted. The Pima County Sheriff's Department is refocusing on resources to detectives to assign to this case. As leads are developed and resolved, resource allocation may fluctuate. Control presence in the Guthrie's neighborhood. says video investigators are actively reviewing surveillance video of vehicles traveling in the Catalina Foothills area, including areas further from the Guthrie residence. We have asked homeowners in the surrounding community to submit any relevant footage and encourage anyone who has not yet done so to please share one. Why are they doing it 27 days out? It's crazy. What is that girl doing? What is going on?
Somebody said it's like morbid stuff. Look, John DePietro is walking.
I gotta see what's going on.
Look at John DePietro. Look, John DePietro.
I like that guy, John.
Brian Ant was filming it too.
What the hell is going on?
I'm trying not to laugh. I mean, I'm not laughing at them.
Go there. Is that a photo shoot? Modeling shoot? It's a photo shoot.
What the freaking hell?
A photo shoot.
Let's go. Have a photo shoot in front of the home of this 84-year-old.
Oh my God.
Different. Either that or there's a.
That's crazy. Is she going to a rave or a dungeon? Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. That's why they moved a lot of the cars out of there and stuff. And they were hoping to kick all the media out, but hey, I'm pulling it. Let me grab this real quick. That's nuts. What are they doing? We know it's hot, but come on. Yeah, I know. She making a movie for a horror movie? Maybe. Yeah, that's pretty trashy in my opinion. All right.
They're literally doing a photo shoot.
That's ridiculous.
The cop is over there getting a good shot. He's like wondering, like, what the heck?
Who does a photo shoot when there's a woman missing? Oh my God.
Thank you, Bob Sharp.
That's crazy. Hold on one second.
What's going on next right now?
What?
Guys don't follow me on X, guys. That's where you guys want to be at, following me for all those little clips, quick, up-to-date information, videos, what's happening, wherever, whatever I'm at, whether it be here, different states.
Oh, here he goes.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, he's stopping that.
If I were the cops, I would just kick them out of there. Why is my comments not showing up? Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. All right, I'm going to turn on a different. All right, I'm going to remove this for a minute. I have a video I want to show you guys. It's like an enhanced. Give me 1 second. All right. I'm going to blow this up real quick. Yeek. That's scary. Ooh, why does it sound like that?
Upon
Is that normal?
Guthrie Nest Cam,
Okay.
I have noticed even more potential clues, such as this one, where we can see something almost round, cylinder shape, in the right pocket of the intruder's jacket. Here, take a closer look.
Some people are saying that's a walkie-talkie or something in one of his pockets.
I've even done more comparisons between
Horn?
the still image and the videos released, since some believe it could be a different person, so I thought I would overlay some video with the original, and what I certainly shock you. cover more in today's video. Welcome and good day. You are now watching the MOB Crew. Let's get started.
Of course, we've been tracking for weeks now the disappearance of the mother of Today's Show host, Savannah Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie disappearing. And really, investigators
Showing? Okay. Sorry, it didn't look like the video was showing for a minute. There we go.
Substantive major developments come out in this case, at least that we, the media, have gotten a hold of since these images were released. We've gotten sporadic updates about some of the leads they're tracking as far as the forensic evidence that the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department is tracking. The federal agents, by the way, that were at the home earlier today, they were there for several hours this afternoon. Several cars were seen going in and out of the driveway throughout the course of the afternoon. And this is what we're getting from Michael Ruiz. Several news outlets reporting this and citing Savannah Guthrie's network, and NBC, saying that authorities are preparing to release Nancy Guthrie. We'll continue to check in with you.
Okay. It looked like it was turning for a minute. Oh, there we go.
The Pima County Sheriff's Department for any and all major development.
Wow.
Before I break down some of the new details I have found in the Nest Cam footage and more, here's a clip of the latest Savannah Guthrie video, which gives us an important detail about what may have happened that night.
Hi there. Coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed.
It is truly disturbing to hear, but also an important detail and clue as to how Nancy Guthrie may have been abducted right out of her bed in the morning by one or more intruders. So as the community comes together to figure out different clues about the suspect's clothing and accessories, like the backpack and more, I have found even more clues, such as this one in the intruder's right jacket pocket. Let's take a closer look. On the left is the original video, but on the right is a negative filter. Now notice there is something in his jacket pocket on the right side. Do you see it? As we freeze the frame and zoom in, taking a closer look, it almost appears round and or cylinder shaped. It could be a flashlight, mace, radio, or something else. Let me know what you think it is in the comment down below. But it's clear there is something in this jacket pocket, as we can see the bulge as the intruder turns the...
I'm going to pause it right there. So in this next clip I'm going to show you, some are saying that it's a walkie-talkie in the pocket. Does it look like a walkie-talkie to you? What does that look like to you guys? Daphne, what if Nancy left her sliding door unlocked? The one to her bedroom they checked first time was locked and came back, it was open. Taser? Yeah, could be. Yeah. I feel, just my opinion, that maybe someone had come in and unlocked it like prior to this person coming in there. Just my opinion. Walkie. How would they get her out of the home? Through the sliding door? Or, I mean, the sheriff said that, I know somewhere I heard that she didn't go out the front door. I know I heard that. I called the FBI last and told them I had information and they hung up on me after I waited. What? Why would they hang up on you? That's crazy. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to play it and let's see if we can get a better...
Here is another look at the object where it appears to be sticking out of the...
Right there. Right there. There's the object. You guys see that? A taser, a walkie-talkie, knife. I don't think it's a cell phone. Yeah, but allegedly she was drinking that night. So I don't know, maybe if that's why I said, like, what if somebody that was in her home a day or two prior had unlocked this door or something, right? And that's how the perpetrator got in. Yeah, it looks clipped, like, so it doesn't fall out if they get into an altercation or something. There was mentions of it in the beginning that she was having some drinks that night, and we've heard that she likes a certain type of tequila. I saw a clip on News Nation with a former FBI agent and medical staff, and they said it was just coughed up blood. Like I said, okay. That's what I thought, that it looked like she had coughed up blood, and then maybe her nose too was bleeding. So maybe, well, and she's on blood thinners too. For the heart medication thins your blood, so it makes it really easy, like, you know what I mean? Thins your blood. Easier to bleed. So
Jacket. Here it almost looks like a radio or a walkie-talkie.
look at it coming out there. Yeah, it does.
Here is a side-by-side with a negative view.
It looks like the top of
February
it.
10th, FBI Kash Patel would release 3 short videos and a still image, shown here.
I don't
But when
think
comparing
so.
the still image to the video, we can see that this person is not wearing a backpack, nor the holstered gun. So the big question is, was this the same intruder, taken from the same night? And if so, when was this still image taken? Or could it be that this still image was taken from another night entirely? I have 2 theories that I will present to you, and I think you will find both very shocking. As I mentioned in another video, I believe the intruder, in the still image, originally tried to tamper with the Nest camera, but was unsuccessful at taking it off. But by doing so, it changed the angle of the camera, as we can see that the tiles and archway don't quite match up, as seen here. So the first theory is that the suspect showed up a different night prior to the abduction. Take a look at the rocks to the right of the intruder. It almost appears as if they were moved. Here, take a closer look.
Well, the camera's
The other
moved there.
argument is that this intruder seen in the still image is not the same person. Although it's hard to line them up one-to-one, it does appear as if one is taller and wider, while the other one could be a bit shorter and thinner. Here's a closer look. Let me know what you think down in the comments below.
Yeah, she had a specific tequila that she liked.
Now here is my second theory. I believe that the still image is from the same night, but it was taken around 3 hours before the intruder came back to abduct Nancy Guthrie, and here is the alleged evidence to back up this theory. Now, according to Google and other sites, since Nancy did not have a subscription for the Nest camera, it only saves up to 3 hours of video at a time, then it rewrites over itself. So according to these details, and if they're correct, that means if the intruder came around 1 a.m., the last known footage could only save 3 hours prior to that. It's possible that the still image was taken nearly 3 hours prior, and this would have been around the time that Nancy was still at the dinner party or was on her way home, meaning the intruder had inside knowledge she would have been gone. If true, the intruder originally tried to disconnect the Nest cam, but was unsuccessful, and Nancy was on her way back home, so the intruder had to leave and come back. That would explain why the background is so dark, is that it's because Nancy was gone and her porch lights were not on yet. But as you can see, in the video we can clearly see the intruder's shadow. And when running these images and video through ChatGPT, it concluded that it was more likely that the porch lights were causing the shadow and not the moonlight.
What?
Also, why was Nancy never alerted via her iPhone or Apple Watch when motion was detected on her Nest camera? Did somebody turn her notifications off? Nancy Guthrie is still missing as of making this video. Please share your thoughts and comments down below. Please smash that like button and consider subscribing to this channel for more updates and video breakdowns. Thank you.
All right, that is the Mob Cruise video. That's a great video he did. All right, I want to read something. So this just came out, right? You remember Derek Kellogg? We spoke about him yesterday. He was the one that did the first ransom note, right? And I'm just going to read this to you, and then I'm going to, which is backtracked a couple days, well, not a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago, and then I'm going to read the new information out now. So the Derek Kellogg, who sent the fake ransom note to the family of Nancy Guthrie, appeared in court. He texted Annie and Tommaso. He faced 2 federal charges, 1 count of intent to transmit a ransom demand, 1 count of utilizing a telecommunications device to anonymously abuse, threaten or harass a person. According to the court documents, Derek Kellogg had texted Annie and her husband Tommaso from a VoIP internet phone line, such as like Google Voice or something like that. The text read, "Did you get the Bitcoin? We're waiting on our end for the transaction." He also made a 9-second phone call to one of them. He sent this after Savannah and the family released their video asking for proof of life. That was the first one. Now, today, it's saying that case number, it gives the case number in the document filed, right? The above named defendant is not permitted to apply for the issuance of a passport and or passport card during the pendency of this action. So he's not allowed to go any freaking where at all. And this is a United States District Court for the District of Arizona. So I'm going to show you guys that. Can you see it? So he is not allowed to go anywhere. What about the other people? What about the other people? Hey, Jen, good to see you, hon. What about the other people that did write the ransom notes and stuff? What happened with them or the emails? Why haven't we heard anything with them? Right? Why didn't they get arrested? Why hasn't their names been put on blast like this guy, right? Are they doing the same for them? Have you guys, I have heard nothing about it. Nothing at all. So why? Why haven't we heard anything about that? Don't you think that's weird? I think it's very weird. Okay, now check this out. This is, let me add her to stage. Oops, I almost got rid of myself there. Okay, I just want to play this small clip for you real quick. Now she talks about what's in the pocket, and you could tell like she's frustrated too. Yeah, I've been really wondering about these ransom notes because all you hear about is the Derek guy. You don't hear about the other people that did it. I think they're distractions as well, May. I do as well. I absolutely do. Okay, I'm just going to play this real quick. This one clip here with her. And let me blow this up real quick. She's great.
For people's videos.
This is Ashley Manfield.
I'm so happy. I could jump up and down. It's always going to come back to a vehicle. So many crimes start with the vehicle, end with the vehicle, and the arrests are a result of a vehicle. So I am very, very happy. If we were able to tell what type of
so this vehicle was nothing
in other places for it. You know, just the color and the shape, and even if you can narrow it down to 2 or 3 different vehicles, it's gonna be great. Hopefully, this is the break we've all been praying for.
Well, let me bring this up again. a retired NYPD detective and national security expert named Pat Brosnan told Fox that his review of their video suggests it's a Kia Soul based on, the slanted roof, the window design, the rear quarter glass, and the vertical brake lights.
These cops know their cars because they're always looking for
I
cars.
agree,
We're always looking at
Texas.
surveillance tape, and we're always trying to figure out who people are and what shady behavior they're up to. So if he says that's what it is, he's probably real close. And if I'm not mistaken, that's a very square body, isn't it, on that Kia Soul? Yeah.
So
I
it's
don't know my
pretty
cars,
distinctive.
but
It looked like it on the video.
Yeah. All right. I can't wait to see that. That's excellent news.
It is, and I'm so interested to hear that the time is 2:36 a.m., which is just 8 minutes after Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker was separated, and it's roughly only a 7-minute drive between these two homes. That's got to mean something.
I don't think it means anything, and they said nothing. I honestly believe it was just people coming home from bars or something like that. And usually, in most cases, it's young, like the younger generation that drives like these Kia Souls. Like my daughter had one, right? It was like one of her first vehicles. Did you know that you have an echo? Do I have an echo? It might be my mic picking up the background, and I'll turn it off. Thank you for letting me know. All right, let me turn that on, turn that off.
Definitely means something. Whenever you get information on a case, Ashley, throwing it up on the timeline is always really important, and it can tell you a lot of things. And that is so close to the time that this potentially happened, and when her pacemaker separated from her phone. Yeah. So her phone was left in her bedroom, and it sounds like they got her out the front door. And when she probably got onto the front porch, her pacemaker lost connection with the phone. And that's probably where this vehicle pulled up, and they put her in the vehicle.
And drove off. And so I keep thinking about this neighborhood. It's very, very dark, very hard to navigate. But somebody might have decided that this is a back road that leads out of Mrs. Guthrie's neighborhood and avoids the major intersections. You'd either have to know your way around in the dark of night, or you'd be using some kind of a navigation app. I can only imagine the FBI has been able to at least tap some kind of intelligence on the use of navigation apps in that exact neighborhood at that exact time.
Yeah, or you could roll old school and just and do a couple of dry runs. Do dry runs in the day and a couple dry runs at night, which are a lot harder. And when they're coming down that street, they probably had their headlights off. It had to be just pitch black, or just their parking lights, because you don't want to draw attention. And you never know when someone's going to just be walking their dog in the middle of the night. So you just got to be very careful. My guess is they pulled.
I don't know how you'd see, though, without headlights. It is pitch black because of the University of Arizona's contract to keep the lights down for the astronomy programs.
Right. Well, you have a place, you have a cabin. Our family has one, and it's pitch dark. And sometimes I just turn the lights off to see how dark it is. And could I drive around here at night? And no, only if you know it really, really well. But I'm just saying that when they pulled up to the house, they likely turned the lights off completely, pulled into the driveway, not the circle driveway. I would say the driveway to the side, but you'd have to have your lights off there just in case she was already up in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
some people
absolutely.
can't sleep.
So the other thing I was wondering is if they were able to capture these images from a ring cam that was pointed towards the street 2.5 miles away, they must have something similar within the 2-mile radius, no?
Yes. I mean, those houses are set so far back. You cameras all around your house. You're not going to be able to see to the street. You may see that there is a light going by, but you're not going to see much else because there's no ambient light out there. There's no street lights. So that I think is I think they've beaten that that point to death. I am disappointed that when they didn't get any information from their original perimeter, that they didn't extend the perimeter. I'm very
2-mile radius. That's a lot of property. That's a lot of, that's a big area. but these properties are all big. They're not stacked against each other. You're not talking about tens of thousands of homeowners. You're talking about a few hundred. Why would they have even chosen 2 miles? Why not just start really big and then pick your investigations,
No,
in
because
the
you
middle
got
of the concentric circle? Because those videos could be overwritten by now.
yeah, but I mean, they were asking for them right at the very beginning. And the bottom line is, even when when you consider things like most traffic collisions or most accidents happen within a 1 or 2 mile radius of your house, because that's where you are most of the time. We know for a fact they were at Nancy's house. I think a 2 mile perimeter is a really good starting point. But when that didn't, when nothing came of that, it's time to open your perimeter, open your aperture a little bit more, and let's see something.
Yeah. My
Or
concern about
just the
that
areas
is
near the
timing.
back road, wherever
Like,
there's an
think about it.
egress.
We everybody's different in their settings, but a lot of these things overwrite. Like, you can't sort of say, well, let's say in a month we don't get anywhere, let's go ask people for video a month from now. Well, you're not going to get it. The time to ask is right away. Remember in Moscow, they were asking businesses video a little late. Said, great, so it's overwritten already. I asked her, wait, I asked her, why did I just start gumshoeing through it?
Well, what I didn't mean to wait a month. I meant, within those first couple days when you didn't get anything that
Yeah.
was fruitful, open it up a little. Start asking for mutual aid and get people to go to those areas, at least along the roads that lead out of there, because my understanding is there aren't that many. And if this is the one that avoids the major intersections.
And we don't know if the sheriff or the FBI is going to release this to the public, saying, hey, everybody, let's start looking for a vehicle we think might be a Kia Soul, like the Moscow police said with the white Elantra. We just don't know if there's evidentiary value here. All we know is what Fox was able to find from these neighbors, and the fact that the neighbors were surprised they weren't canvassed. I guess we'll watch this space for that. Let's move on to the other topic, and that is the silver Range Rover that we all seem to have forgotten about is still,
I didn't forget about it.
Yeah, right. It's still in play. And I've learned from, my law enforcement source that the guy they were targeting was at his mom's house and then, left to go pick up food. And that's when they decided to move in 2 different locations and grab the mom, pull her out of the home and search the home and grab him in the Culver's parking lot. And it turns out he was driving the silver Range Rover and they had a law enforcement plane overhead. Any of that a surprise to you?
No. Because it probably had something to do with cell phones, because anyone that was in that area, they were part of that geofence region. And so they were probably looking at this guy, and it was I don't know if they must have had the tag if they had the bird up.
Yeah, my source said that the plane had been following them for a while, end quote.
Yeah.
Like, quote
Okay.
unquote,
So
for
then
a while.
So they had the tag. They knew when that truck was purchased. Or least my understanding is.
Okay, so they're talking about the gray vehicle, that basically the one where they got in the raid, right? The Range Rover. And like last night when we were talking about it, I thought maybe it was a Range Rover, but I want to show you something real quick. I want to take you over to my Google Earth real quick and show you something. So on Google Earth, if you go to this house, let me see, can you guys see that? Okay. So here, this is what I was showing you earlier. This is Nancy's home. So the home that has the camera on the gate is over in this area here, right? So say they left out of here, right, out of Nancy's neighborhood, and they made a left here on North Camino. What does it say? Myravel, I think. I don't know how to pronounce that. And then made another turn on East Camino, Myravel. unravel, and then made a right. So the gloves were found here. Remember the picture that we looked at the other day with the gloves, and it looked like there might have been blood like on a rock. Remember that photo that I had pulled up? So that's where the bloody gloves would have been. Now they would be on North Campbell Avenue. And then they would make a turn here on East Camino Los Ventes. I cannot pronounce these names and I feel horrible. And then they would make a right. So this is where they got the footage from, right here. Right? In this area. But now they're saying the car doesn't have anything to do with it. Isn't that crazy? Laura? No, Laura lives. She was one of the ones that spoke out. So she lives right here. So she lives in the back. So this is Nancy's house. The back of Nancy's house is right here. Nancy's front of the house faces this way. So Laura, who spoke out, lives here. Right. So if they went by that way. But there is a home that has like a green gate in front of their driveway, like right through here that I could see. And they have a camera on their gate. So, and then you have the neighbor with the gem show, which we spoke about, that they have like the biggest jewel and gem show thing within January and February, I heard. And that there was a robbery there with two guys. And I believe we showed the video of those two guys as well last week. God, guys. So why wouldn't they grab camera footage from all these neighbors that live close by first, right? From any which way you can get out of the neighborhood. Why wouldn't they grab camera footage? Like, for instance, like everybody that lives down here, here's a road you can get out of, right? You can go this way and get out of the neighborhood. Grab all the camera footage from here. Grab all the camera footage from here. Like, and you know what I mean? Like all around the house, Why not grab camera footage like that and then work your way out? I don't understand it. And then why wait now to grab the footage? Because the FBI, they've been searching the SWAT here, the camera footage through here. I mean, I've mapped everything. Circle K, remember in the beginning they grabbed the footage from the Circle K. There's the closed golf course where JLR was. Then you have Annie's home over here. And then that's where they do the Mahjong gaming here. FBI was over here, focus searching over here, searching here. So it seems like they kind of have a clear path, but maybe that's why they're asking people all the way out here. But they should have been grabbing footage throughout her neighborhood first. I don't understand how they don't have any kind of footage from that neighborhood. It makes no sense. Did someone disconnect everybody? Did they put a Wi-Fi jammer or something on? I don't understand. Yeah, I can't either. I can't see anything at night either. All right, give me 1 second. This just came out. Give me a sec. This literally just came out a couple minutes ago. I want to play this. Where's 1 second. Pull it up for you guys. Get rid of Google Earth.
I want to talk to you about the video. It's very interesting to me that this got out by Fox News last night, which has been doing very good reporting on this. Fox has. Mm-hmm. And they find it. I want to read you the way they describe it. I know you're familiar with the audience. It's a resident of the Catalina Foothills neighborhood. That's Nancy's, who has a street-facing ring cam that caught 12 cars passing by in the morning Nancy disappeared. The recording goes from midnight to 6 a.m. on February 1st. That's the relevant time frame. And the activity occurred near the 2:30 a.m. mark. That's the relevant time. The homeowners, Elias and Danielle Stradagulias, told Fox Digital that the police had not canvassed their neighborhood at all in all the time since Nancy went missing. The FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department have been alerted to the video, writes Fox Digital. Not immediately clear whether the video is of any use to the investigation. This is last night. The Stradagulias house is on a back road, Fox writes, North Camino Real, that leads out of Guthrie's neighborhood, avoiding major intersections. Leads out of Guthrie's neighborhood, avoiding major intersections. And they live about 2.5 miles away from the crime scene, with the 2-mile radius of neighbors who received a ring alert asking for video taken from Jan 1 to Feb 2. So the concentric circle drawn by law enforcement did not include this house, but this couple nonetheless checked their ring camera and found something they think may be of relevance. Their house, writes Fox, is roughly a 7-minute drive from Guthrie's address, as I mentioned in the intro. One of their videos was recorded around 2:36 a.m., which is roughly 8 minutes after Guthrie's pacemaker last synced with her iPhone. So the timing would work.
Yes.
Danielle said the number of cars passing that night was not unusual, but she and a friend found it odd that no one from law enforcement had visited the neighborhood. The route itself had been flagged to Fox News Digital by another neighbor who said she also saw a suspicious man walking in the area on Feb 2, which would have been Monday, around the corner from what appeared to be an abandoned car. And she says she described that man as 5'9" tall, Hispanic with a close trimmed beard and wearing a silver bracelet, smoking a cigarette. And then this is actually the final point. Another unidentified man was spotted in mid-January, according to a different neighbor who did not have your typical walking gear on. He had his hat pulled really far down over his eyes. He was just walking in the neighborhood near an intersection leading to Guthrie's home, and hadn't encountered him before or after, kind of younger, just didn't look like he was going out for a walk. She thought he was suspicious. Now we get the TMZ report today saying our FBI source has looked at the video and says it's a dead end. The area where the cars are driving, as well as the ingress and egress, has led the agency to the conclusion the cars have no association with the kidnapping. And yet Fox had reported that this house, the Stradagulias house, is on a back road that leads out of Guthrie's neighborhood, avoiding major intersections, and talking about how this is her neighborhood. That's the neighbors themselves say this is her neighborhood. And I feel like the neighbors of all people would know very well if there was an ingress and egress out by their home from Nancy's neighborhood. I don't know. I'm not sure about TMZ, and you tell me whether we should be discounting the Stradagulias's new lead so quickly.
Well, there's a lot there. But first of all, if in fact the FBI is discounting this vehicle or these vehicles that drove down that Camino Real, then it's definitely for just a couple of reasons. Number one, they threw up a geofence on that area for that night, and all the cars there were telegraphing different information via cell phone or their or just their vehicle, and they were able to get with those people and find out where they were coming from or going to.
Wait, it can't be that, because the Stradaguliases say no one came to see them since Nancy disappeared. So the FBI certainly hadn't ruled them out. No. They hadn't seen this and ruled it out prior to this because no one had come to see them.
Right.
And also, there was a report after this by Fox that the FBI was seen going to visit the Stradaguliases after the Fox News report. But I mean,
right.
So I guess overnight, they may have ruled it out between like the time the Fox News Digital report hit yesterday evening and the time the TMZ report hit this morning. But they definitely hadn't ruled this out prior to yesterday evening.
Right. here's what I'm saying. Well, I think it came out yesterday mid-afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. The Fox, it came out on that, and a lot of people were getting alerted. What I'm saying is, right then you've got the cast team with the FBI, and they're already doing all kinds of work, and they're up to their eyeballs in it. And now they're like, okay, let's throw a geofence. You don't have to go there. You don't have to visit anyone. Initially, and you put a geofence up on that area at that time frame to see who's going past. Now, what we would expect if these were the offenders is we would expect no activity coming from the car, maybe a little from the telematics, but definitely not from cell phone data, because we've already found out that there was no cell phone data pinging or anything around that house. They probably used little handheld radios or something. So they looked at that. They found out who those people were. They could have dispatched agents to those houses last night at midnight, for all we know, and they could have followed their phones wherever they went, all the way to an investigative end, so to speak. So they could have done a lot of work last night, and wouldn't be the police officer or at your door in the middle of the night, because they probably wanted to really hammer this down. We don't know that happened. We don't know that would have. All I can say is I would expect one or two of those vehicles to have no telematics pinging or nothing from phones pinging if this was our
If it
offender
were our perp.
or maybe two vehicles.
Yeah, the follow-up reporting, Fitz, from Fox was, per Michael Ruiz, Pima County detectives arrived at the home of the Strataguliuses yesterday on Camino Real, where the
Do you guys think they believe this is the way the perpetrator went? Do you? Burner phones? Yeah, they could have possibly had burner phones. I don't think that they had any type of connection at all. Like, why this is obviously planned, guys. It's not just some person coming to rob her, right? Like I always say, why just her house? Why now? What has changed, right? So, why are you guys talking about liver? And sorry, I read your comment making me laugh. This literally, why now? Why her, right? Nobody's home in the neighborhood had been robbed, right? It's just her. So, in my opinion, planned, targeted. And they're really stumping. They're stumping the FBI, and well, it's not hard to stump the sheriff. It doesn't seem, in my opinion. But why? And why has the sheriff fumbled so much in this case, you guys? Can someone please tell me? Is he deliberately doing it? Is he being manipulated? Or is he just dense? Like, I just don't get it. No, I don't think it's a robbery either, Priceless. I really don't. Who goes to rob somebody's house with a full backpack? That makes no apparent sense, right? No sense. You think he's dense? I feel that this person that we're looking at that went to take her has some type of background. Either, I don't know if they're ex-military, ex-police, or something. Just by how they're stumping everybody and the way they walk too. Like I showed you earlier, by the way they were placing their feet and stuff when walking like that. They're really careful. Yeah, I've been watching since day one too. It's just questionable. He has very questionable behavior. And not to mention, it's no coincidence, in my opinion, that they're doing a reality show. And I keep saying that like a broken record. It just seems weird that they're a reality show. And he even said, I might play that. News clip with him talking about it. The last thing he said, I hope this brings in tourism. He wanted to bring in tourists. Very strange, right? Well, what's going to bring in tourists? And I'm not insinuating anything here, but everybody's eyes in the world is on Tucson, Arizona right now, right? Think about it. Yeah, I agree, Michelle.
New ring video was taken. So it does appear that in response to the Fox News digital report, they went there and they spoke with this couple. And then by this morning, not the Pima County Sheriff's detectives, but the FBI, which has been somehow Harvey's source in this whole thing, is saying it's a dead end. He puts it as a, quote, "It is a dead end. The area where the cars are driving, as well as the ingress and egress, has led the agency to the conclusion that the cars have no association with the kidnapping."
Well, Maureen did an eloquent job of explaining the cell tower markers and what's coming out of the car and all those type of things. But I think all of us rely on what's worked for us in the past and investigations, and the technology, of course. Maybe DNA, if we're lucky, will ultimately perhaps help solve this case. But I also, in earlier cases I worked, my police career, as well as even FBI in New York and later as a profiler, reaching out to the public is always an interesting way to sort of narrow the suspect pool. And it's certainly in a situation like this. And I would like to see, perhaps on the part of the Sheriff's Department, the FBI, to put something out there like, all right, everybody, we all know about this crime that occurred, when it occurred, where. Can we ask for anybody who was driving in that area, if you're in the range of the internet, which of course everyone is where it's going to be posted, and you were out there driving, could you contact us and let us know? And just maybe you saw something. You're not a suspect. Maybe you saw something, a car went by, somebody pulled over doing something strange. And then these videos that there may be more videos coming in. There may be some we don't know about also. And do your best to slow everything down, blow them up. There's technology now they can make it probably read the tags. And then if a person in one of these cars does not contact the FBI or the Sheriff's Department, doesn't mean they're guilty of anything, but it's something I think we'd want to talk to them. They can have an affair and they shouldn't be out, doing what they're doing at 3 a.m., whatever. But let's try to get people to come forward and say, yeah, I was driving right in that neighborhood, or a mile away or 2 miles away. If you're you're in some of these back roads that you described, Megan, I don't know the area well, but I'm looking at the map. This is not a wrong turn you made. You're there for a reason. You know where you're going, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
And
clearly the person who took Nancy knew where he was
absolutely.
going.
And just put out there, hey, anyone who's driving, between 1 a.m. and 3, they can make it anytime they want. Can you just contact us and let us know? And if they do identify some cars, tags, ownership, et cetera, and that person didn't call, doesn't mean they're guilty, but at least move them up a few notches on the suspect list, and let's do some more follow-up with them. That's how I would go about this. They may have already, they haven't done the posting as far as I know. If you were driving around, let us know.
International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency. There's a
here. Oops, I was trying to find. It looks like they removed his interview with the reality show. I was looking for that. You guys, yeah, I don't think it was by accident at all. I don't. And did you notice the guy has like a cyst or something on the side of his eye? I noticed that earlier too. Let me see if I have the photo. I could share it with you. Hold on one second. He has like a cyst on the side of his eye, like right here. I swear I took a screenshot of it. Now I don't have it. That's horrible. So, in my opinion, a Canadian girl, he had some kind of tarp or something in his backpack, but that's just my opinion. I don't know if anybody else has said it. Yeah, I can't find it, Michelle. Oh, okay, Cass. I believe he had a tarp in his backpack or some kind of blanket, and just my thoughts, because if you're going to remove somebody, right, if you're going to kidnap somebody, you're going to want them covered, right? Like, so they use it to cover her so she wouldn't be seen coming out of the house. I don't know. And we were told that she was taken from her bed, like dragged out of her bed. Imagine that. Imagine the terror of that happening to you. I didn't realize it. Hi, Liza. But Chris M., former law, stated in the restaurant, people were really eyeing Savannah and family in that restaurant in a creepy way, almost like they were wearing. Oh, yeah, because they do have, well, they have like the latex gloves in that video. Skyline is allegedly made with chocolate. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Why do you guys always talk about food? No, I don't. I'm trying to find that interview with him. Underneath the glove, there is like a ring on the finger. Yeah, people were pointing that out as well, like a large ring, right? Suspect was caught on camera 2 different days. It was not accidental. It was planned. First trip was obviously to check out the property. I feel, I'm still on the fence with that. I do feel that there was 2 people. And I feel the last one, with the one without his backpack, if it is the same person, but they look heavier in the front, like their gut, like, right? They look like they have a larger gut. That was the last frame of them coming to remove the camera off the door. But wouldn't her camera say, okay, think about it. Say the perpetrator did come there prior, right? And if he got that close to the door, wouldn't he had spotted the doorbell camera? Wouldn't he had, like, if he was coming there to stake out the house, wouldn't he had spotted the doorbell camera? And if so, wouldn't the camera on the Nest camera, wouldn't it had sent a notification to Nancy's phone, right, saying person detected? Even though she didn't have any kind of subscription, it should have still said person detected. Don't you think? For instance, like there's a lot of people have cameras, right? But more than like 50% of them don't pay for a subscription or anything. It's just either they're duds, they're just there to look like they work, or it's just live view. The live view basically will send you a message, right? An alert, and it'll say person detected. Some cameras will even say intruder alert or whatever, right? Some of them you can even speak through. A lot of those doorbell cameras, you can even talk back. Now, what if Nancy actually heard the perpetrator, right? What if she actually heard the perpetrator and she was talking through the speaker, through the doorbell camera? And that's why he was trying to cover it with the weeds or whatever too, right? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of all different, but you would think if he was there before at late at night, she would still have that notification saying person detected. Just yeah, I know. And their no light ordinance. Where I live, we don't have a no lights ordinance, but it's dark as shit out here. Like it's dark at night, unless somebody leaves their house lights on. We don't have like the street lights and stuff. When you live in a rural area, like it's like that. It's pitch black. But that night that he did come, it was a waning gibbous moon. I think that's how you pronounce it, which usually illuminates the sky. And I do know that someone had pointed out that on both of those shots, right, you have one shot of the camera with the perpetrator and the sky looks brighter in the one shot than it does in the other shot with him standing there without the backpack. And that's why people were saying, well, maybe it was a different night, or maybe it was after the moon was already starting. You know what I mean? When the moon goes over through the mountains, it's not as bright in the sky. Does that make sense? For instance, like, I know this is weird. When I'll come outside, like around, when you live in the mountains, you come outside and it's around, like, say 10 o'clock at night and the moon, it's really bright, and like come out later and it's not as bright because it's moving, right? It's moving. So maybe it was just in a different position, and that's why it didn't look as bright on the last or the one without the backpack. I feel that he had went back, he had already used the stuff in the backpack, and if he did have a tarp in there, he'd already taken the backpack off, threw it in a vehicle or wherever with Nancy, and he's like, I'm gonna go grab that freaking camera just in case, so they can't get any indication that I was here. Not thinking that the FBI could actually pull off that. So yeah, it's never been confirmed that it was 2 different days. Nope. And why won't they give us more? Hi, Miss Robin. Good to see you. Hi, Leslie. Why won't they give us more footage? It does look like the sweater is different, absolutely. But I mean, looks are deceiving, right? You take off the backpack, so it looks looser, right? So it's, I don't know. He's also standing further back. It's creepy. I know that. It looks creepy as shit, like a horror movie, right? I thought 2 different people, Mob said the same person 3 hours apart. 3 hours apart. Okay. So you would have to know the moon's position that night, like, and you'd have to do like longitude, latitude with the moon's position and do a lot of measurements and stuff like that to be able to see where her house is located, to see where the moon was stationed at each time at night, right? Like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. That makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. In my opinion, I agree. Or maybe a distraction, right? Thighs are heavier. Yeah. This person does have large thighs. Large thighs. Yeah, sometimes they do. Could have spotted the camera, but the person more than likely would have broken it first trip because yeah. And why not remove the camera right away, right? Like, excuse my language, why mess with it and put flowers over it? Why not just remove the camera completely when you come up to the door? I don't understand that. Now, someone had mentioned that it looked like maybe the perpetrator's hand, like they couldn't close their hand all the way. That's why they were doing that weird gesture on the camera. But maybe that's why they couldn't rip it off, and maybe it was another person. But it's so strange. Yes, but maybe the culprit deleted it. I wonder if Nancy was on a family plan. Well, I thought maybe that someone else was able to see her camera footage, right? And usually someone that sets up those type of cameras, it's like a family member or friend for someone that's older, right? So it was probably a family member that actually installed that camera for her, in my opinion. Or maybe it was one of the workers, one of the people that, like, maybe she said to the people that come to do her lawn or pool or something, she's like, hey, if I pay you like $20 or $50, will you install this camera for me? I don't know. But in my opinion, it had to have been someone that knew she didn't have any kind of subscription either. He was not there until that night. Band members. We read the article yesterday about the band member. Oh my gosh, it was just crazy. He said that they were all hiding in their house. They thought that they were going to get swatted. Oh, it was so sad. He became a deputy for El Paso Sheriff's Department 1985, I think. Therefore, this clown has some contacts, leverage, respect. It's something, I'll tell you. Both pictures, it was dark, so could have been sleep and not heard it. Yeah. We also heard that she had one of the hearing aids was like the extra powerful hearing aid because she was losing her hearing. So that tells us that she might not even have heard the alert on her phone. She might not even have heard them come inside until they were right up on her. You know what I mean? And if it was somebody that was robbing her home, like I said before, they probably could have got in to her home, right? Unless they broke a window or something like that. They probably could have got into her home and took whatever they wanted and got out without her even knowing. Just my thoughts. But this person had one thing in mind, and that was getting her. They didn't grab anything else, nothing else that we're told of, right? Yes, but maybe they knew her camera didn't work and they made sure to remove it anyways. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. They came back at the end. That's why the backpack's gone. If it is the same person, they came back. They wanted to make sure no signs that they were there, right? And they just took the freaking camera off completely. And that was the last thing before they left. Could be a worker she hired has paid for somebody. I know they said they cleared the workers and her inner circle. I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere, but don't quote me on it. Could someone have unscrewed the light bulb in the front? Yeah, and thank you for asking that, because it looked like in the one photo that I showed you that the light was on, but I don't know if, give me a second, if someone doctored this. Give me a sec. They lightened up the photo because I didn't see any kind of photo like this, but it looks like the light's on, right? So that's strange. Doesn't it look like the light's on there? I don't know. And we don't know what color clothes he was wearing either. I found this on friends of the family's Facebook page, this actual photo. Nancy was hard of hearing, and if she was without her hearing aids, I don't think she would. Yeah, I don't think so either. Think about it. Why would they mess with the front door? Why would they mess with the front door if they had another way in? Right? Do you think they were trying to get in? Well, obviously, because we could see his hand moving around the door knob. So if it was a different day, it must have been close because the video would have been permanent. Yes. Oh, very smart Canadian girl. If it was a different day, it must have been close. Exactly. I agree with that. Well, if none of it went to the cloud, they must have been able to scrub around the same day or close. Absolutely. I agree with that. I did not think of that. That's a good idea. Yes, Daphne, that is why they did it. And then the full moon night, wasn't it? So the driver could drive without. That is very smart, Michelle. That is very smart. I didn't think about that. Maybe that's why they did it on that night, because it was a full moon and they didn't have to use the headlights when they got in the neighborhood. They could actually see, because when it's a full moon out, I mean, you could see a lot. Like it was a full moon yesterday or a couple days ago. I walk outside, I can see everything. And it's pitch black where I live at night. There's no street lights or nothing. Like I said, but when it's a full moon out or close to, everything's illuminated out here. Like I could see deer and everything walking down the road. It's pretty crazy. That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. Maybe that's why they did it that night, so they could drive with no lights in the neighborhood. Here, let's see what's going on the live. I really hope that those people aren't there anymore with the weird photo op. 1 second. Give me a second. I'm going to add this here. Looks like they're gone. Why is it not showing? Oh, because I didn't put it to stage. Jeez. Yeah, it looks like the weird people are gone, the photo op people. Let's do that. So it's not so loud.
All right. Should we take another call?
Oh, he's doing a call.
What a day. We didn't get much information. I thought the feds would at least be around.
At my home, it's pitch black at night. It's if it's cloudy, you can see the Milky Way. I love that when you can see all the stars.
Apparently not.
Yeah, maybe, but still, if they're asking for the public's help, wouldn't they put more out? I don't understand.
Should be.
There is a street light. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I wish we had street lights, but then I'm like, oh, I don't want the light going through my window. What if they aren't giving out the other photos, Daphne? What if they aren't giving out the other photos? Other photos of the perpetrator? Yeah, I do too. I feel like they don't have anything though, guys. I think they have maybe an idea of which path they took, but maybe just that, right?
Yeah, neighbor of Annie just told me that it's
What did he say?
black SUV just parked there with a camera tripod sitting in front of his SUV. He was just sitting there in the front seat. I'm sure the AC is on. So that's in front of Annie and Tommaso's home. I have been out today and I missed a lot. Does anyone know if that person went to the sheriff's office? JLR.
I think he was testing the alarm to see if they would call the police to test if anyone. It could be Connie. That's a good idea.
No, I didn't get any contact information. I'll be honest. I was a little rattled after they were trying to get.
Nancy wasn't on a family plan at all for her cameras.
Come on, take me with you, or you come with us.
Maybe Alex knows them from Criminal Network.
Yeah, Stacy, I think so too.
Is she gonna leave the flowers though? That's the question.
What is up with these people? I think that's ridiculous. Yeah, there's nobody on her family, like, well, I don't know about her cell phone, but her subscription for her camera, her non-subscription. What kind of person do we think this perpetrator is? Do we think this perpetrator is prior military or police? Or do we think it's just a regular criminal?
Send it to me and I'll definitely watch.
Yeah, baffled. I'm with you. Yeah, they knew that she lived alone. Someone wanted revenge for something. Reverse infrared. JLR was there when this happened. The guy kept going by Nancy's house, driving really slow, and he reeked of weed. Like, who would do that? Who would keep doing that? Like he wanted to be pulled over. It's so freaking weird. Real monster.
Who are these people? Who are they?
They don't want to do interviews. They don't want to say what channel they're with.
They don't even go to
Who goes there and does a freaking photo shoot?
I'll grab that for me.
May, yeah, I seen that. I did see that. no one steals anybody's grandma. This was planned. This was planned.
What happened there?
Dog was getting
The
all
porch
happy.
light had illumination lines around it, even if the photo was lit. Yeah, but it looked like the light was on in that one. Let me see something. I want to try to find that video. What is it called? Okay. They had to scrub that interview. What?
John DePietro. What have you uncovered, John DePietro?
I have something to share.
You have something to share? What do you got? Have a seat. You don't have to ask. You can have whatever you want. It's all for us.
Oh yeah.
I'll spin the camera around. Here we go.
They don't tip over.
Oh my God, I want to read this to you guys.
Hey, look, we're pretty close.
Yes.
John DePietro.
I want to come back to what you and I talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Which was Savannah saying somebody knows.
Savannah says somebody knows.
Yep. And it is odd this many days that there's been different cases I've covered that they start united, but then somebody panics and says this thing got like so far out from what we thought it was going to be, and that, you know, then they go and try to save themselves. But I think that this is odd that someone would know unless it is a lone wolf who, for whatever reason, targeted Nancy, targeted the Guthrie family. And like we talked about, those types of individuals can be very difficult to catch. So maybe it's so, I think it's disturbing because there's no money motive. Wasn't a robbery, wasn't an argument. You know.
Well, we don't know that. Ransom.
Well, then they're terrible kidnappers. I think if that was the case, then there would have been, but unless they made a half-ass attempt and then somehow wasn't taken seriously, or they didn't know how to send it. So maybe the plan was to try to do a ransom. But I don't. I think something that people need to understand is how, and it's impossible to miss, it's how the attitude of the officials has changed. I mean, you had President Trump in Air Force One saying there's going to be a resolution here.
Solution.
And
That was 2 weeks ago.
I think it was 3 weeks.
Yeah,
ago.
that
3
was
weeks
yeah.
ago.
And
Long time ago.
We're so far from that. And then, you know, we think of, there was just this excitement of, you know, all the forces are coming in, cavalry's in town, Cash Patel came to town. Suddenly they have, you know, SWAT activity. Everyone's jumping in action on the Tuesday night Rio Rico. We were at the hospital. They thought, you know, they'd gotten Nancy with a chopper in the desert. Think how long ago that was. And then that Friday night, I mean, you know, we were north and whatever that, I can't remember the name of town.
Marana.
That's
Marana,
right.
Marana.
In the rain.
Marana.
Marana.
And,
Marana.
And then, you know, we're staging and it's close to here. And then they had the scene. I mean, it seemed at the time that if it was like a next movie or something, like that's how then it would then go, right? Like of course we're gonna catch them because everybody gets caught. So now here it is, day 27, and I just think they are still stuck in what it still comes down to is that no one has established what the motive would have been. So, I mean, we could talk
To the
about,
public.
to the public. We could talk about that they have not released Annie's car. We could talk about that. I mean, that is when I say talk about, I mean,
Sheriff said out of his mouth that was protocol.
right. But how long do you keep it for protocol?
But why protocol that vehicle and not protocol Nancy at the time?
Right. Because
Nancy's
then they towed it
vehicle
later.
got done later.
Right.
Matter of fact, it got done towards the end of the first week.
Yep. And then
The
I mean,
first
there was
week, within the
certainly
first couple
mistakes.
days,
There was
the
certainly
Annie's
mistakes.
vehicle.
Are you JLR?
Yeah.
I have a message for you.
Oh.
You have a message.
Whoa.
Can you grab that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a group that's following you on YouTube right now
Uh-huh.
that wanted me to give you this and for you to call them.
Whoa.
They have an off-record
Is
tip.
this real?
I'm serious.
Whoa.
My sister is in Iowa. She's following them.
Whoa.
She follows you.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
No, they don't live here in town.
Thank you.
That's their TikTok name at top. And they've been trying to get a hold of you on your YouTube channel,
Whoa.
but they
Whoa. Did they send this tip to law enforcement?
Whoa.
can't. I don't know.
Whoa.
They just asked me if I would deliver you that
I'm not the
message.
gatekeeper of anything, but I will reach out
Yeah, that's their phone number.
off the record.
The sheriff
tip.
wants to talk to you.
Nah, it's fine.
Hey, Tucson girl, I have a weird question. Have you ever heard, I know you live there. Have you ever heard of the Splinter? Hold on, it's there in Tucson. Give me a second. The Splinter Collective. Hi, honey. It's called the Splinter Collective. It's a nonprofit group that Annie runs. It's like her art and stuff. And they do like performances there. When I saw the two people actually come up for the photo shoot, that's what I thought about. I want to see if you know. Here, I'll turn the volume back on this. And
Who did this? They came to you, and then Newsweek has run with the story. Do you know
They
that
have.
story is actually now international?
Well, it is because they
Did
contacted
you
the
see your
sheriff
picture
office.
in the Tokyo
Yeah,
Times?
I have.
Yes. Which
But
one?
but
Tokyo
any
Times.
tips?
So who was in it?
I don't think
Picture of
anyone.
him in
Let
the
me
Tokyo Times.
just say I don't encourage anybody to just come to a journalist to give a tip or streamer or whatever. Go to law enforcement immediately.
A lot of
Like if
people
you
are
have,
afraid to
if
go
you
to the
see
police.
something, say something. Yeah, and they are.
See, my
But
message
what would they be
is,
afraid of when?
I tell my followers, come to me. Do not go to the police.
Mhm. I would
But a
say
lot
go.
of-
I would say go. I would say
No.
because
You
what I've
should
also
contact
been
them, but
hearing
they're not
though.
going to the police.
Well, some people have been calling the FBI. The FBI has been keeping these people on hold for 30, 40, 50.
all right, I'm going to show you. It's Annie's. So I'm going to show you. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. Okay. Give me 1 second. I showed it for just a brief second in the beginning. Give me a minute. So this is off of, I'll give you the address. Hold on. I'll give you the address. Let me remove JLR for a sec. Stop that. I'll give you the address. So it's like an art place. This is it right here. It looks like that. And let me give you, hold on 1 second. I'll pull up the address real quick. They have a YouTube channel as well. I don't really want to show it on here because there's some, hold on. It's, give me a second. Let me pull it up. 901 North 13th Avenue. 901 North 13th Avenue. So your dogs are being bad. So this is the place, 901. So they do, they're actually having something tonight at 6 p.m. And I'll show you like the events. This is allegedly Annie's nonprofit. I'll drive there tomorrow with my car. Doors on, doors locked just in case. Yeah, go check it out. Let me know. So tonight at 6 p.m. to 9:30, they're having a thingy here. Cupid's Revenge, revamp, and ready to slap you in the ass and pinch. Yeah. This is allegedly her thingamajigger. And they have a YouTube channel, Instagram, and Facebook. Have you guys ever been there before? Not going there at night. You don't want to go there tonight for their little thing going on? Yeah. This is, let me see if I can show you. Hold on one second. Let me go back. So this is all their, yeah. So they have concerts, bands, and stuff like that. There. There's the address right here. Yeah, when I put the address in, what is the latest on the car film they found last night? I heard the location of it did not lead to a route. No, yeah. I thought you drove it last night on Google. Yeah, I showed it on Google Maps earlier too. You know, I feel like it was just somebody maybe or people coming home from the bar or something that night. I mean, it's right after 2 a.m., but I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. Yeah, Tinky. That's what a lot of it is. Give me a second. I want to read this to you real quick. Realtor, this is so weird. I didn't know realtor.com put this shit out. Check this. So this is kind of interesting. You know, realtor.com puts a thing out. I didn't know they did that. But I was going to read this to you guys. So actually, is there a video? All right here. And it tells more detail than I think we've heard. So it says harrowing new images and video taken at the home of Savannah Guthrie's missing mother, Nancy, indicated that a security camera may have been removed, which we already know, from the exterior of the Arizona dwelling, while also revealing what appears to be blood on the tiles outside the front door, which it is. A video of the home's front door, which was posted on News Nation from Brian Enton, also shows a bracket mounted to the doorway, which appears to have once held a Ring doorbell, which is now a Nest doorbell camera, had been left empty. It says some new stuff in here, so I want to go over that. So we're going to go through photos published by multiple news outlets also show spots of blood in the entryway of the home. And then it says Nancy, 84, was reported missing around 11 a.m. local time, February 1st, or around 13 hours after she was dropped off at the property by her daughter, Annie. So this one says she was dropped off by Annie following a family dinner when she failed to turn up at her usual church service on Sunday. It says Annie and her husband, Tommaso, are reported to have met with local officials and FBI agents at their home on February 3rd as authorities continued their investigation, according to page 6. It is understood that Savannah was also in attendance during that meeting. It goes on to say the Pima County Sheriff's Office told TMZ on Wednesday morning that no suspects have been identified in the case, which they've had detained some, but no suspects. But they are continuing to meet with anyone who might have information. We have not identified a suspect or a persons of interest in this case. The statement read, detectives continue to speak with anyone who may have contact with Miss Guthrie. We are also waiting for forensic details. Let's see. Let's play this real quick.
For your help. Our dear friend, Savannah Guthrie, who for years has given her heart and soul to the viewers of the Today Show, is looking for her mom, Nancy Guthrie. Police unfortunately tell us this is not a case of someone who has wandered
Tucson
off.
girl.
They have seen what they believe is evidence of a crime in her home. That's all we have to go on. If you know Savannah, then you know her mom.
And
Because she raised her through some very tough times. Savannah has shared that it was her mother who taught her the power of prayer, the types of prayers that make you get on your knees and pray for God's protection. Savannah and her family need your prayers tonight. They also need your help. So tonight we're asking, if you've seen Nancy, if you know what happened to her, please contact police in Tucson. Their number is 520-351-4900.
I find that, hi Andrea, good to see you. Long time no see, hon. Yeah, so I find it strange. Is Annie, I think they're Catholic, right? So it says in an interview aired on the Today Show, Pima County Chris Nanos said that he remains hopeful that Nancy is still alive, telling NBC's Liz Cruitz, we have nothing else to go on but the belief that she is here. So this was early on. Okay, and then it says she's present, she's alive, and we want to save her, is what the family said. At a media briefing held on February 3rd, Nanos refused to discuss details about the evidence found at the property, although he did note that his department was attempting to retrieve video footage from his home security camera. He admitted that no major breakthroughs had yet been made in the case, but stated that his team is working around the clock to locate Nancy and bring her home. Emphasis, her life is in jeopardy. Someone's life is in jeopardy, he said during the media briefing. We got to find her. We got to work hard to do that. But you didn't, though. You didn't gather camera footage or anything in the area. And then just now, 27 days later, they're looking for their, I don't understand that. Nanas refused to elaborate on reports that Nancy's pacemaker stopped syncing with her Apple phone and watch during the early hours of morning of February 1st, nor would he confirm sources' claims that blood was discovered in her home. When asked whether he was able to share any information about what Nancy might have been wearing or what kind of car she might have been traveling in, Nanos said he had none to share. He also confessed that they do not currently know if they are searching for one suspect or multiple. It goes on to say around an hour after the media briefing was held, Entertainment TMZ revealed that they had received an unverified ransom note in which was an unknown person or persons demanded that millions of dollars be sent in Bitcoin to account. And we know that was from Derek Cowella, or however you pronounce his name. And he text messaged Annie and Tommaso about if the Bitcoin was deposited yet, and then made a 9-second call to one of them. Says TMZ's founder Harvey Levin shared an update in an Instagram video, which he and his co-host Charles, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, revealed details of what was in the note, while stating that they immediately passed the message over to law enforcement. TMZ received an unverified ransom note today, so this was the second one when in the beginning, demanding substantial amount for the return of Today anchor Savannah Guthrie's missing mother. Nancy, in the caption of the video, stated, we have since contacted law enforcement. In the clip, Levin further explained, so we got something in our email that looks like it's written in a ransom note. He added that the person or persons who sent the note included certain things about what she was wearing and damage to the house in an apparent attempt to prove that they were present when Nancy was taken from her property. You guys remember hearing that? Yes, I agree. Perps look for vacant houses for sale to break into. Did someone scope out the house near her and notice she lives alone? Could be. But what about the other people? Isn't there other people? Remember in the beginning we heard of a neighbor and that lives alone, another neighbor that lives alone too. I swear I heard that. No, I haven't heard of this either, guys. Vacant houses more than likely wouldn't have anything worth stealing. Yeah, make a good hideout. Exactly. What if there is a vacant house around or Airbnb or something that's this person was hanging out in, right? And then they just left during the day or something when everybody else was going around. I believe that Nancy Guthrie may be Presbyterian. Her deceased husband was Southern Baptist. So I don't see Wicca being aligned with the beliefs of the rest of Annie's family, but you never know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if she's Wiccan or anything, but certain things kind of. So it says while neither confirmed how much money had been demanded, a story posted to TMZ's website stated that the sum was in the millions, adding that its reporters had verified the validity of the Bitcoin address used in the message. There is a deadline connected to the alleged ransom and an element of or else, the story added. Ugh. And it says another alleged ransom note was also sent to CBC affiliate in Arizona, KOLD. Sheriff Nanos confirmed, however, it's unclear whether it included the same details as the letter did sent to TMZ. Authorities have now confirmed they are investigating the unverified ransom notes, but have yet to confirm whether they believe any messages to be legitimate. Nanos told CBS News that he cannot share details about the contents of the notes, revealing it is like any piece of evidence. You give it to us, you give us the lead, we're going to look at every aspect of that lead. In a separate statement, his department confirmed that it is taking all tips seriously and treated as pieces of evidence. It goes on to say, we are aware of reports circulating about a possible ransom notes regarding the investigation into Nancy Guthrie, the sheriff's office said in a statement. Okay, that just said the same thing. And then he says that they're coordinating with the FBI there. This is the part that I want to read to you. In an interview with Fox News on February 4th, Catalina Foothills resident Tom Pugh, who lives in Nancy's neighborhood, described locals' horror over the alleged crime, noting that he had never heard of any crime like this taking place in their community. It's a friendly neighborhood. It is a very comfortable place to live, he said. People walk every day in the streets around the neighborhood. They know one another, greet one another, walk their dogs. By and large, there's no crime. Right? So something he says they know one another. Did Nancy know all of her neighbors and vice versa? I wonder if it's somebody that lives in the neighborhood. Did NBC use a local film crew when Savannah filmed that homecoming episode? That would definitely. They probably did. And, because Savannah worked for not KOLD, but KOVA, I believe it was. Is that the correct one? KOVA? So you would think if it was directed at Savannah, don't you think that they would have sent it to somewhere where she did work at one point in time? Just my opinion on it. Instead of sending it to KOLD. That's true. My part of the foothills has lots of dog walkers, many people walking daily. Yeah, that's usually how any, normal neighborhood is. People are walking their dogs, and usually a lot of people know their neighbors. I live in where it's not, houses aren't close by, but I know my surrounding neighbors, right? And usually in neighborhoods like where she lives, there's an HOA. Usually a lot of people know each other. They would have sent a local affiliate, I think. They most likely did. I'd have to look into that. Good Shepherd. Yes, correct. She is. Yes, Savannah's Church is the Good Shepherd in Manhattan. Okay, so it goes on to say any crime that does occur, it's petty kind of crime where someone might leave their car unlocked and kids walk by and take something. The neighbor also shed some light on the lack of security camera footage, noting that many people in their neighborhood felt safe enough that they don't see any need for installing security cameras at their home. It doesn't shock me that there is a lack of security camera footage. It's not really like a high security area, he said. People don't really look at things like that. He also highlighted media reports about there being no street lights in the neighborhood, stating that they haven't been installed because the sky is one of the most perfect skies to be seen in a neighborhood in all the country. People like dark skies and aren't really afraid of the dark, he said, adding, I would say the reason you couldn't see other houses from the Ring camera is that are on other houses. You think of this as a desert, but there are a lot of trees and shrubs and things like that. The houses are not that close together. There's a lot of space here between the houses. Says the Pima County Sheriff's Department initially revealed that the officers had found gravely concerning evidence inside Nancy's Tucson property. Their search stated that they believe the Today Show star's mother was taken against her will. Now we find out that she was dragged from her bed. Yeah, this is when she did her segment back in October. Remember when she did her family reunion? Yeah, this just goes over the DNA samples and stuff, which we already know from the beginning. Oh, that Savannah, who had been to fly out to Milan to begin coverage of the Winter Olympics, when she received the call alerting her mother's disappearance. And also, I want to say too, so I know there was some rumors going around that Savannah was going back to work, but then I saw something today saying that she hasn't made that decision yet. So I don't know which news put that out, but I saw one earlier that she hasn't made the decision just as yet, you guys. All right. I didn't know realtor.com actually put out articles like that. Many of us hike to Sabina Canyon at night to enjoy the dark skies, although the neighborhoods are dark, but the canyons are amazing. It sounds beautiful. It's beautiful when you live up in the mountains and it's pitch black and you can see all the stars. It's like that here when it's not cloudy. When it's not cloudy, it's just gorgeous. Hi, Joyce. Good to see you. Good to see you. Some simply wanted Nancy's assets because they needed money. You know, I always had that feeling, and I still feel that way. Too chicken for that? Yeah. What about all those coyotes in the beginning at Annie's house? That was creepy, right? So the searching mothers of Sonora are looking for Nancy Guthrie in Arizona and Mexico and said officials aren't doing enough to find the missing 84-year-old. Oh, there was a new post here. But, guys, will this ever be solved? Do you think this case will ever be solved? You're back. I know. I can't believe I've been on for 2 hours. That's freaking crazy. I'm just going to see if anything else has happened here. And then if not, I'm probably going to get off because I can't believe I've been on here for 2 hours. Let's see here. Let's see if anything else is going on.
Well, you're a hero.
6 years.
So,
But do you think there's a chance later, or you think it's more a chance earlier than the 228?
I think it's earlier, because I think if she was in the house and the app tried to connect just to do its routine every 24-hour data upload, then it would have connected.
Yes.
It tried to connect and she wasn't there.
Well,
So she, I think, left before 228.
but that would also narrow the, people say 40 minutes inside the house.
Right.
Then
I don't
that
think it
actually
was
would narrow
40
it
minutes.
down. Narrow it down. Could be 20 minutes or something in the house, maybe. Or 10.
Exactly. So I don't think it's 40 minutes. I don't know how long it is, but I don't think it's 40. So I just wanted to bring that up. I also, I think she left the house alive. And I think that based on the blood spatter pattern, I know there's been other nurses that have called in about that. My take on it is that if you look at the pattern of the blood droplets on the front porch, it very much looks like a nose or a mouth bleed. There's a small pattern. There's a small pattern about the size of a baseball or a softball. That's a very tiny blood pattern, blood spatter pattern. That is a cough. Someone is coughing, and that's a very forceful, that air is forcing the blood out, and you get really tiny little blood droplets. I think she was alive, because some people have said she
Alive
left,
but hurt? Alive
but hurt. So when if you're bleeding from your nose or mouth, it goes down your throat. Your body doesn't want blood down your throat or in your stomach. So you start coughing. Sometimes people throw up if they get blood in their stomach. It looks like there's a cough there. So I feel confident she left the house alive.
And Steph, I want to make sure I understand. Let's step away from the Nest Cam picture in the front, okay? If it just most likely was connecting to the app at 2:18 about there every morning, it's very possible the last time it had connected was early Saturday morning at 2:18. Something could have happened after that, and then the next time it goes to connect at 2:18 on Sunday morning, it's not connecting. But we're right? Is that correct? Yeah, that one. Okay.
So if you have a pacemaker and everything's hunky-dory and I'm not having any abnormal heart rhythms, that data only uploads every 24 hours to the cardiologist, just as a routine review. The only other time it's going to upload outside of that 24 is if you have an event. Your heart rate is out of range.
And some alert goes off.
Rhythm. Then it's going to want to connect to that app as soon as possible. So you have routine uploads and you have event uploads. This 228 connection that was missed, to me, seems like a routine upload.
But what about if she sustained an injury that sent an alert?
It could. But because it's within that 1 to 3 a.m. time frame, I think it was a missed upload. Or it could be an attempt for an event, a recorded event. Say her heart rate jumped up very high, which could be completely reasonable. The pacemaker will want to send information.
Interesting.
It could happen, but I think it's a routine upload that it couldn't connect.
Now, Steph, do you know, Nurse Stephanie, if you had a patient in distress, would that register with the app? For instance,
it tries to.
If you had someone having a heart attack, if someone was having a heart attack, would that register or try to with the app?
No.
It doesn't.
No, because it's a pacemaker.
Okay.
So if you had an abnormal heart rhythm in conjunction with your heart attack, it will catch that. But it's not going to know you're having a heart attack. It has to detect an abnormal heart rate or an abnormal heart
Well, I mean, would being spooked when you're sleeping cause your heart to go haywire?
Yes, it could. It could. And in that situation, the pacemaker wants to upload to the app right away. Now, whether it's in rain or not is a different story. So if you have an event and you're 100 feet away from your device, it's going to try to connect but can't. It will try to connect to that abnormal event as soon as you come back in range of your device. So it doesn't want to connect constantly because you want your battery on your pacemaker to last a long time, right? 7 to 12 years is average. If that pacemaker is constantly trying to connect to the app and send data, your battery is going to drain very quickly. So it only uploads routinely and in an emergency. That's it.
So possible that get out of the house much earlier than 28-ish.
It's possible. I need to expand our minds when we're thinking about when she left the house and when we're looking for strange cars.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No. That's pretty much all I was going to say.
Well, I'm thinking, from this house, in order to get to most of the main roads, about 5 minutes.
Right.
About 5 minutes.
Yep.
You're gonna get to any one of these main roads. I mean, the farther west, it's gonna take a while, but to get to the closest, you get to Orange Grove, you get over to Campbell. Campbell here would probably be the quickest. Few minutes.
And Nurse Stephanie, though, you raise a good point because there's this perception of just what you said, that the individual was in the house for 40 minutes. So I think, let's talk about that. What does that mean? Is there a conversation going on? Is there listen, tell me where the safe is, or are they waiting for a ride, indicating to someone I'm here, where are you? Let's do you have a theory? Or let's talk about that. Why? Because that's one of the things that jumps out. It's so unusual. You would think it would be in and out, right? You want to get out of there. You don't want to be sticking around.
I totally agree. I don't think they were there for 40 minutes. I think
they were there longer.
The timeline was worded with the pacemaker disconnecting at 2:28 throws everybody off. I don't think it was a B&E gone wrong. I think they went in, they got her, and they got out. And I think that 212 camera connection with whoever this super creepy guy is, I think that's almost after they had her secured outside of the house.
No,
just a guess.
Stephanie,
just a guess.
Stephanie, you're saying they. So you are intimating you think it was more than one person.
I think it would have to be. I mean, she is an 84-year-old woman with mobility issues.
Yep.
I don't know how you could go in as one person and think that that's going to go well.
Well, we've heard the tarp.
Yeah.
We heard the tarp theory.
Yep.
Tarp in the
Hard to
backpack.
move.
Another one said a trash can. Put some money in a trash
Said
can.
a wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow, golf cart. We've heard other things that a single person can do, but one person. I mean,
No. Listen, easy, right? Easy. Think about it. You're on a mission, right? You're paid. You're paid to do a job, right? Either you paid 2 people, you paid 3 people, you paid 1 person. She's 84 years old. One man between in his 30s and 40s, even 50s, can overpower an 84-year-old woman, right? You're in there to do a job. You've been paid. You're going to go in, right? You have your blueprints. The person who paid you tells you, this is what you're going to do. And this is how you're going to get out, yada, yada, yada. You go in, you grab the person you're getting, right? I think it's a tarp in the backpack. So they take the tarp out, right? They probably restrain her somehow. I heard the phone was turned off. That's why it disconnected, right? Her phone and her watch were turned off. Now, that I'm pretty sure the sheriff said that in the beginning, or one of these news outlets or something said it. So they take her, they restrain her somehow or whatnot, and they probably put the tarp around her and carry her out. Now, I did have a thought that maybe they were trying to make some deal with her, right? If the person was paid, they went in, they said, hey, you need to change your will around, or you need to make some changes to assets, or whatever the person was paid to do. They tried to, talk talk to her to get some changes made while she was detained, and she wouldn't agree with it. So they took her. Or there could have been an accident while they were trying to take her, right? But think about it. One man could do this. I mean, if you have someone 30s, 40s, 50s even, that someone can overpower an 84-year-old woman. She didn't even hear them coming, probably. Right? The Stephanie, I think she's a nurse. Yeah. Thank you, Grace, for your super chat. Hi, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. But you just got to use common sense, right? This person, why I think they're paid is because they're stumping everybody. It could be a medical professional, but it has to be somebody that's done this before. They are stumping the sheriff, the FBI. I heard the devices were turned off. I heard they were turned off in the beginning. I know I heard that somewhere, and I'm sure I could find it. But I'm sorry. They had a job to do, and they got in and did the job, and they're sitting, they finished their job, and they got to find out where she's at, where her body is, or where she's being held. But if they wanted the ransom, they would have already made that transaction, guys. They already made the transaction. That would have been their number one priority. Here is Nancy. Give me the money. Here's Nancy. You heard it too, so I'm not crazy. I know I hear stuff or I read stuff. I knew I heard they turned it off, and that's why it disconnected. So this thing is really strange too. In the beginning, they say the doorbell cam disconnects, yet it still detected a person being there. That makes no sense, right? So doorbell cam disconnects at 1:47. Her pacemaker spiked up at 2 a.m., right? So that's 13 minutes later, after the doorbell cam disconnects, her pacemaker spiked, meaning someone was there and startled her. And then at 2:12, that's 12 minutes later, right? What did they do within 12 minutes? From when her pacemaker spiked from 2 a.m. to 2:12, the software, it says software detected a person. And then at 2:28, pacemaker disconnects from the phone. So 2 o'clock, pacemaker spiked, sent a message, right? Her pacemaker spiked. Then 28 minutes later, they disconnected it. So did the perpetrator hear her phone go off and look at her phone and see that it sent a message out or something, and they turned the phone off, or what? The watch and cell phone were there, but I heard they were turned off. In the beginning. No, nobody deserves. And this person has stumped the FBI, the sheriff. I think if it was done right in the beginning, we'd have more answers. Just my thoughts. I think they're showing.
The lights aren't on in the house, so these things don't come on at all. No light. But
So
you're
they're
just
not
wondering
motion
if they've
powered.
been broken out.
It's the very front of the
Yeah.
lights. You can clearly see it. You think it's broken. It looks broken to me.
I would have to. What I can do is I can ask one of these journalists with one of these zoom in cameras to take a picture for me. And
I would be very curious to know if they are broken, and if they are, did the crime scene investigators swab? To me, that seems like somebody casing, and they're.
I'm going to. So I got a busted out. You see the two lights?
One man
Like the
can
front.
absolutely
Just
carry
one
her.
camera and one
Absolutely.
shot. We got a New York Post reporter here with a good camera, so I can maybe ask. Huh? You don't think so?
But they could have been replaced.
We're unscrewed.
No, I really like the Open King.
I think someone would have seen
Hey,
somebody
no,
go
there's
in the
nothing
garage
going
with
on, but I
her.
need a favor here. Can you zoom in on the camera, these two lights, and see if they're broken? Yeah, we got.
I think he was staying close by, in my opinion,
Find this out.
or parked in
We got the
behind
best
her.
camera.
Odd that someone that has
See
such
the two
a tight house would have
lights
broken
out there?
Can you zoom in and see if there's any cracks on the front or if they're broken in any way?
I thought I had a picture of the front of her
If
house.
they look intact.
Oh, I gotta show you guys something weird. I totally forgot.
He's looking now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been driving me.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, and I wanted.
It's a good one, Nurse Stephanie.
They look intact.
They're very.
All right, they're intact.
That's a great camera.
You got a good camera.
Well,
Thank you.
we know now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
we don't know, were they replaced by the handyman that was here?
Or maybe the bulb was up.
Yeah.
Maybe the bulbs are out. Maybe.
I just was thinking, do you think that the bulbs out, help them with cover of night as they're trying to over out of the house?
Yeah.
What the hell was I looking at?
They're intact, so it was just a thought.
We're here. Look at this. You see?
I know.
We clean up our mess when we're done, though. We always clean up our mess. We take the trash out. We, clean everything up when we leave. Well, it was a good conversation,
calling me.
Mhm.
I just hope maybe this will spark some ideas in people's heads that the timeline may not be what was initially presented. Things could be different.
And I will say with the nurse, as you said, different ones have different perspectives. It's just like when you're getting a surgery and operation, you get different opinions,
Yes.
right?
That is true. That is true. I know there was some people ragging on nurses in the chat.
We don't know. Why is people ragging? Nurses are great.
Not only
Doctors,
Nurse Stephanie, you interact with first responders, so nurses mention small details that can.
Yeah. I'm practitioner. We do try to pay attention to the little things. So
thank you so much for the insight, Nurse Steph.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent.
well, thank you, and thank you for what you guys are doing. I really appreciate it. I am following along and often.
Not at all.
What I'm saying, we're going to get answers. This, the media out here that continues to cover, people come out, we're going to get answers. This, the media out here that continues to cover, people come out, set the record straight. Something's going to give here. And
All right, I gotta take you guys somewhere real quick. You was talking about showing. Yes, Ash, give me a second. It takes my Google Earth just a minute to load the screen. That's what I was trying to do. Give me a sec. I want to show you something really quick. So for me to do this, because it takes so much energy for me to show Google Earth on here. Give me a second. I want to show you something. So this was November 2025. This is right here, right? This is Nancy's house. Right? We got her house right back here. I thought this was weird, you guys. So if you go too far up, you can't, it'll disappear. Let's see if it's still there. Now, if I go too far up, you can't see it. It looks like, what does that look like to you guys? It's just a random SUV parked on the side of the road right here. Do you see this? I don't know. It's the same color as the Range Rover. You guys see that right here? I don't think it's the Range Rover though. But they're just parked on the side of the road, which I thought was strange. Now, I don't know if I can. This is in November, so this would have been a couple months before she disappeared. A couple months. So, well, November, like this is November, late November, I believe it is. Where's the date? Well, on my phone, it says late November, but on here, it just says November 2025, right? And she went missing February 1st, 2026. Could someone had been casing out the home and just like parked on the side of the road up here? I just thought that was weird, right? It's probably nothing, but just something I noticed. If you go up a little bit, it disappears because Google's camera, right? See, it disappears. But they were parked right here. I'm going to show you. They're parked right here. You could see their tire marks. See? Right here is where they were parked. Right through here. It's where they were parked. Right on the side. Tire marks. That's where this car was just parked. You think that's weird? Those houses, yes, that's what I was saying. Those houses, I was getting ready to show you that. These houses right here all have long driveways. Okay, Jen. They all have long driveways. That's not their driveway. So why the hell is this car parked right here, right? I mean, it might be a DoorDash person. Oh, they've fogged out their house, so you can't see their house, but no, there's a house right here that you go all the way up here through here, right? I don't know where this person's driveway is. I think it's on the other road. Yeah, they fogged their house up. I think their driveway is around the corner. So just some random person just sitting on the side of the road here. Right? Look. Like a bear footprint or something. I don't know. I just thought it was strange. Now, if you go to the aerial view, it has like a truck or something fogged out. You can see where the dirt is coming up on the ground. So now if I back up some, if I can go backwards here. Oh, you can see where people have been parked over here too. There's like even like a wet spot looking type thing where someone, oh, look at the tire tracks there. Look. Look, so if I go back and then I turn around, the car's there. Oh, I didn't go back far enough. Hold on. I got to go back more. Give me a second. So this this long driveway goes all the way up here. So could someone have been casing out the place? Okay, so there's our neighbor right there. Remember they got the security camera footage off this neighbor's house right here. I think this is our gym show guy. That's our gym show person. Damn, where did the car go now? It like disappeared. That's freaking weird. Okay, so that's our gym show person. Oh, let me show you the house that has the camera on the gate real quick. Is this it? Hold on. Let me see. Is this the one with the camera on the gate? Nope, that's not it. There's a house right over here that has a camera on the gate, and I don't know why they didn't get footage off of that. Where is it at? Right in here somewhere. Is this it? Where is it at? Somewhere over in here. Oh, look, that one's that house for sale. There's a house for sale right there. I wonder if this house was vacant. Anybody living there? That'd be interesting to know. That would definitely be interesting to know. Because what if the perpetrator was staying there? Yeah, I heard there was a house that the news rented while they were there a couple weeks ago or something, that they rented it for a week, but I don't know which house it is. I wonder if it's that one. I just Googled and military use left foot. He might be, May. He might be. I hate to think that someone in the military would do, or ex-military or something would do something like that, though, you know? But the way he was walking it's got a certain walk to him, you know? Yeah. But I thought that car was strange, you guys. So you could see it here. But when the Google car gets up on it, it disappears. See? That's not Annie and Tommaso's vehicle, is it? Yeah, the sheriff said there was no forced entry, though, guys. No forced entry. So, yeah, true, Tinky. Like the one guy, Travis Stecker. It's definitely something to look into. Kelly's like, that's exactly my house. All right, let me get rid of Google Earth because it's sucking my energy down. And I'm probably going to get off here. I've been on here for like almost 3 hours now. But I just thought it was interesting. You guys could go to Google Earth on your phone and look. If you look at the aerial footage, you can see another like vehicle, but they fogged it out. We noticed it the other day on here too. You sure they have a white car? Because I have a picture of it and it looks silver. Look. This is their vehicle right here when they towed it. Look. It looks silver to you or black or something. That's supposedly their vehicle. Here. You guys see that? That is Annie and Tommaso's vehicle being towed away for evidence. Yeah, Tucson girl, I think so. They were there to do a job. So, wow. I'm sure it's beautiful. Yeah. I couldn't live on the West Coast. I like I don't know, East Coast too much. It could be silver. It looks like a darker colored car, like it looks like the one parked on Google Earth that I just showed you. I don't know. It's supposedly a blue Honda CR-V. Is that what their vehicle is? No freaking way. Are you serious? The photo is too blurry. Let me see if I can find some footage and see if I can get a better clip of it. This case, gut feeling that someone paid him. I've always felt like that from the beginning. It's definitely someone, in my opinion, that's professional. Definitely. They were paid to do a job, and that's what they did. It's really sad. Well, I want to thank all of you for coming in for this pop-up live. And I'm glad that my new microphone is working today. Yeah, May, that's what I think it is. Yeah, you got the mountains and the oceans. We do too over here. Our mountains aren't as high up, though. Yeah, it's just sad. Yeah, thank you all for coming. Tucson girl, if you go visit that place, make sure you're safe. I thought it was very strange. Have you watched Chris McDonald's live? I think yesterday, him and his wife. No, I haven't. I'll have to check it out. I will check it out. I'm going to order some food because I'm starving. Look at the photo where A and T are hiding their face. Oh, yeah. Duh. Thank you, Kelly. Duh. I have that picture. Yeah, give me a minute. I do have that picture somewhere in here. I know I do. You know who else has a blue vehicle is the neighbor next door too. They have like an SUV. Give me a second. I do have their photo. You're right. It is blue. It's right. I have this right here. That's it right there. So that's the one that was towed, I'm guessing. Oh my God, May. That is scary. That is scary, May. Oh, wow. Honda, yeah. Tommaso's car. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Leslie. It's good to see all of you. I agree. Well, it's very nice to see all of you. I didn't realize it was a CRV. Yeah, same, Jen. I haven't either. Yeah, good night, Baffled. Yep, hugs, Kel. All right, love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. I will probably do another live tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do it on Nancy unless something breaks. I'm trying to go back to doing missing children's cases more so. And March 2nd, here in a couple days, Daniel Martell will be going to court, you guys. So we've got to recap on that. So yes, but I love you all and thank you so much for joining me. And I hope the new mic sounds better than the other one. Not so loud. Thank you so much, Baffled. Thank you. All right. Good night, everybody. Enjoy your night. Stay warm, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you. Good night. Good night, Michelle. Thank you so much. Much love. Thank you, Karen.